mostly to no avail, as the nation came under attack from other kaiju such as angry race. By the mid-1960s, the JSDF was little more than something to stem the fear of one or two monsters laying waste in Japan. That wasn't to mean that they weren't going to do good things, though. Because, however, in the early 1990s, they, along with the UN GCC, created G-Force to study and destroy Godzilla or any of their monster planets. So, UNGCC stands for United Nations Godzilla Countermeasure Center. It is a special branch of the United Nations founded in 1992. It was designed to bring together the most brilliant minds on Earth in order to devise defenses against Godzilla and to explore possible methods of finally killing the beast. G-Force. G-Force is an organization created after the conflict between Godzilla and King Ghidorah in 1992. It was created to destroy Godzilla and other monster threat that came across. It belongs under the JSDF and UNGCC branches. So, G-Force's duty is to protect the people that have been put in harm's way from the beasts of this world and beyond. We are the first, last, and only line of defense against the worst scum in the universe and MTV.
True.
Alright, so, you're going to say this with me now. These are the Miranda rights. If I have just arrested somebody, you're going to say this with me. You have the right to get shot.
Got the right
Anything
to get
you say, do, can, and will be used against you in a court of law. If you have the right to a thorough butt whooping. If you cannot afford a thorough butt whooping, one will be provided to you free of charge.
Yes.
Do you understand these rights I have read to you? With these rights in mind, do you wish to have your rear ended handed to you by myself?
Or
Yes.
or a disabled
Yes?
man here.
Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Next, G-Force agent. So a law enforcement special agent means title for detective or investigator for state, county, municipal, federal, tribal, government, all that good stuff. G-Force agent, one who kicks much butt in the name of world peace.
Yes.
A G-Force's agent code of conduct, it's admirable that agents follow what's modern interpretation of Bushido, which means military knight's way, but often translated into English as the way of the warrior. It's a Japanese word that for the way of the samurai, loosely compared to the concept of chivalry, originates from the samurai moral code and stresses frugality, loyalty, martial arts mastery, and honor until death. A few of the 7 virtues that we like to follow is, of course, courage, respect, honesty, honor, and loyalty. So, let's talk about martial art mastery. It is an extremely important part of being an agent for physical aspects, exercise, self-defense, and defense of others. For mental aspects, calmness, readiness, clarity of mind. And for character aspects, courage, respect, honesty, Bushido, For those who have been trusted with the public safety, you must be able to think quick, act fast, and always care. Unless you're being a total wuss, then we're not going to take care of you. So, to continue on this topic, agents are definitely required to partake in martial art training and achieve respectable rank before being trusted with field work. Agents are then employed to always continue the martial art journey, always getting better, always perfecting their art, always becoming a better martial artist and person, or we'll have to kill them.
You're going to emphasize on the you will have to kill them.
Forever 6, you always wear a suit, always be well armed, always show little to no emotion, always be on your guard, always wear sunglasses, and always shoot or hit first and ask questions later. This is a very important part. Let's talk about always wear a suit. The only time you do not wear a suit is when you're, 1, an agent in training, which you do not have the right to put on a licensed G-Force suit until you are deemed worthy to do so. Number 2, you are training in a martial art that requires a type of uniform, or in our case, gi. Japanese word meaning uniform for most Japanese martial arts. You always want to show respect for the art you are training for. So, example 1. And example 2. You see, no matter what life brings them, they're always wearing a suit. And that's why they've always been a part of my team. Now let's talk about the next part. Always be well armed. Whether it's your fists, feet, head, gun, or rubber chicken, or mind, you always must be well armed. Remember, you are the weapon. Being well armed not only means being ready by having a literal arsenal, but also being ready with a weaponized mind and body. Speaking of arsenals, These are your role models you should be following. The reason why I picked these two gentlemen is because of how well prepared they are to take care of anything at any moment. Now, talk about always show little to no emotion. When dealing with scum and danger on every corner, it's important to show less emotion than Kristen Stewart in any of her movies. For anything that even resembles weakness, will get you eaten alive in the field. Example here, my good friend Steve Seagal demonstrates that no matter what the term for emotion he's having, he always has the same face. So this is the guy you want to model yourself after. So, but always being on guard is pretty simple. Not paying attention means you're going to get killed. Good example, my friend here, he thinks he's enjoying himself a nice packet of food, but my ninja buddy right there is ready to cut him loose. You know why? Because he was not
paying attention. On guard.
So, always wear sunglasses. Did I stutter at all?
Not at all.
No.
Always.
So, example. See, no matter what, there's always a pair of sunglasses behind the sunglasses. And then behind that sunglasses is another pair of sunglasses. No matter what, you always wear sunglasses.
Very well.
Now always shoot first, or hit first, and ask questions later. Again, did I stutter? No.
No.
This is your role model right here. For any of you who are older fans of film, this is Dirty Harry Callahan, and I think it pretty much speaks for itself. For younger kids, this is somebody who didn't take nonsense from anybody. So, G-force weaponry. Remember, use whatever works. Like my friend here, Jackie Chan, see table below. So, to point out a couple of things that I've learned over the years, these are just props, so remember, don't worry about it, you're not going to get shot. But there are certain important things that you talk about when dealing with G-force weaponry. You want to always make sure that you can use whatever you want as a weapon. Because you never know what you're able to use as a weapon. So, especially when G-Force's most trusted agent is his semi-automatic pistol. So, if I was demonstrating how to, I would say, properly hand out this gun, I would say, yo man, take this gun from me. Oh, I just shot you in the face, I'm sorry about that. Now, when I'm going to hand you a gun and be clipped out, make sure that there's no bullet in the chamber before I hand it off to you, which you gently handle first, and then you pistol load. But the point is that no matter what you're working with, you don't be stupid. So, these are just small things. You gotta make sure that when you are dealing with anything, you know what you're doing. Now, let's talk about my favorite part of being a G-Force agent, is that we are only looking for the best of the best of the best. And for that, potential candidates go through an intense and rigorous training program that develops the mind, body, and soul, for which few have ever completed. But if you live through it, you get a nice gift basket at the end. Example number one. My good friend here is demonstrating how to do the hot salsa dance quite nicely. Number two, my friend here is demonstrating how to maintain balance at all times, no matter how much weight you're carrying. Because if you happen to have some luggage you have to be carrying, being a 150-pound man, if your arms can't support that, then you don't belong in that force. Another example, my good friend here is demonstrating how you need to make sure you have flexibility. Flexibility sometimes you have to be stretched to your absolute limits. Example here, speed. Speed is very important as a G-Force agent because without speed, you're nothing. Demonstrating here, you must have a strong core because if you cannot handle the things you've seen, you will upchuck your last meal. Once again, when dealing with flexibility, which is very important, that helps with running and everything else, you have to make sure you're thoroughly stretched before beginning.
Will you provide the animals, farm animals?
I will be.
Okay.
Providing. Demonstrating here, no matter what size, you always have to have the same mentality. My friend here, no matter what, even though he's dealing with a man who's probably at least 500 pounds heavier than him, still likes a challenge. My friend here, of course, is demonstrating agility. Agility, he's not very good at. He never made it. rest his soul. Once again, agility, a very important part. As you can see, my friend is demonstrating the absolute way not to be familiar with agility, so forget about him. Now, obviously, I think this pretty much speaks for itself. Sometimes, in being a G-Force agent, you have to be able to take care of anything and handle anything. So that means you must have seen everything, which includes even things you don't want to see. And if you follow that, you're good. So, let's get on to the next part. We'll be talking about giant monster safety and you. How much do you know? How safe do you think you are? How stupid are you being? Are you screaming like Richard Simmons? Are you running like a track star on steroids? And are you wearing a clean pair of pants? These are all important questions you have to ask yourself when you are dealing with giant monster safety. So, monster or kaiju, and by its definition, is a Japanese term that means strange beast, but often is translated into English as monster, or sometimes known as your in-laws. So, and then attack. To set upon in a forceful, violent, hostile, or aggressive manner, with or without a weapon, begin fighting. As you, okay, well, the last slide, because it happened to be, I'm so excited, I clicked it right through. Kaiju-related deaths have skyrocketed ever since 1954, pretty much not getting better ever since. So let's talk about the 4 points of safety. Monster detection, monster avoidance, and monster self-defense, and monster weak points. Detection, detect, to discover the existence of, detection, the act of or process of detecting. Are you seeing clearly? Are you seeing the giant dancing koala bear, or is that spoiled milk talking? Now everyone has to deal with detection differently. Example here, my friend here is not very good at knowing that he has a guest at his door. Number two, pretty much speaks for itself. And then number three, never knows how to deal with situations. So to deceive or not deceive, that is the question. Now you probably ask yourself, why is detection so difficult? Well, I'm glad you asked. You probably think this guy's pretty cool, right? So, let's talk about avoidance. Avoid, to keep away, or stop oneself from doing something. Avoidance, the act of avoiding or keeping away from. What are you avoiding? What are you avoiding it from? By which methods are you avoiding avoidance? These are some simple questions we'd like to ask ourselves. So, we'd like to say, stay safe. Stay at friendly exits. We will discuss that in a moment. How to stay safe. Avoid retreating to or staying in tall buildings unless you have to. If you are caught in a building trying to get out as soon as you can, try to stay off streets as best you can. Walk if you only have to. Never stop for McDonald's. Being underground is always the best option, and have a shelter prepared along with the getaway vehicle. So, as you can see, building to hide in on the left. Can anyone tell me why that is incorrect?
It's made of glass, and if a giant monster steps on it, it will shatter the building pieces and will crush it.
Right, that would cost about $1 million to make, so either way. Now, why would this be more important or more safe? So, I called on you. Why is it more safe? I'll ask you in a minute.
Because it's underground partly, and you can go under it.
Right.
And
What's usually in parking lots? Strong structure. Parking lot is built on what? Huge.
Exactly. But there's one thing about the parking lot that's also good.
Hold on. Let's talk about underground shelters. Can anyone tell me why on the left side that is an incorrect underground shelter?
Boring.
That's right. Anything else?
Torturous.
Exactly. One more.
Cool.
That's good enough. Now, on the right side, why is it more important to be having a correct underground shelter? David?
It looks cool.
It looks cool, but what? If I'm going to live out the apocalypse, would I rather live it out in the Dutchman's Dragon or in a huge arcade?
Well, you have to have like a billion quarters.
I do actually have a billion quarters because that's all you can do is collect quarters while you're waiting for the world to end. So, let's talk about getaway vehicles. Can anyone tell me why on the left side that is an incorrect getaway vehicle? You, sir.
You can clearly see in the comic book Godzilla that
horses cannot, in fact, outrun Godzilla.
Yes, sir.
Not
But this
mules.
happens to be a donkey.
Which
Now,
means
why
it's worse.
cannot the donkey get the job done?
Cause
Hold on.
It'll
Jake.
it'll get radiation poisoning.
That's a good then, but how fast do you think a donkey can run?
Not very.
5 miles an hour.
Why is that the correct getaway vehicle? Come on, there's more than 2 people in here. No, I'll call you guys again.
It is under heavy.
And it's what?
Fast. There we go.
It's made by Batman.
And it's like a tank.
Anybody participate.
Alright, so let's talk about the art of avoiding. The number 1 rule of the art of avoiding is when you see something that needs avoiding, you avoid it. Yes. Number 2 rule is you follow rule number 1. You know what happens when you don't follow logic? You end up like my buddy right here. Anyone who's seen Godzilla 2000 knows what I'm talking about. So, when you see this coming, you drop like what you're doing, like it's on fire, and you what?
Get out of there.
Keep
Run
going.
for your life.
Wrong.
Get out of
Jacob said
there.
it.
Yeah, that sounds better, but everybody here, come on. There's not
Get out of here.
So, let's talk about a simple multiple choice question. You are just having a wonderful time with your family, getting some food out, but you happen to see this coming in your short distance. Do you A, carefully look around and plan an exit strategy? B, stop and look at the pretty colors? C, wonder how jumbo that sign advertises? Or D, do nothing and get crushed? Anyone?
B.
A.
Raise your hand. There we go.
B, because you'll realize that Godzilla's gonna explode.
Right, okay. Totally wrong. Next. Yes.
A.
Yes, the answer is A. For anyone who did not answer A, I will have to see you after class for detention.
I
Okay, let's talk about the next part of the 4 points of safety. Self-defense. It is a countermeasure that involves defending oneself, one's property, or the well-being of another one from harm. So how does one defend themselves from the self-defending, defensive defending? That's the question you always have to ask yourself. So, let's talk about when does a situation call for self-defense? Simple, when you can't avoid a conflict and it calls for a confrontation. How do you know something calls for a confrontation? When it punches you right in the face. Does that make enough sense?
Yes.
That or crushes their neighbor's.
Example. Save the questions for a little bit. Now, why is this bad for my friend here with the camera? Come on, there's more than 2 people. You guys can raise, come on, raise hands. Come on.
Come on, guys in the back
Seriously,
here.
come on.
Somebody else.
Alright, fine. I guess your arms are too tired to raise. Here we go.
It punched him in the face, alright. He's still not leaving.
Right, so by this example, let's finish it off with another multiple choice question. Do you A, assume the fetal position and start crying? Do you B, put down the camera and then start crying? Or do you C, start screaming like a choir boy while you sob?
I think somebody here wants to answer that one.
Do you D, stand your ground?
I want to say A because I don't think you can stand your ground as something that's 200 times your size.
Yes, that's true, but you're wrong. I'm sorry. Who said D? Guess what? D for duh. Thank you. Now, let's talk about the next step. How to defend yourself. You arm yourself with whatever you can. You find, protect the cover when you can. You don't get distracted. You always adapt because it does not always go the way you think it will. Improvised weapons. It might be incorrect, but I still love it. So tell me, why is that the picture for incorrect?
Because it's an animal that's very small and probably does not have very hard bones. And actually, the version works much better because it looks more painful.
And now, so why is this the correct? Well, because you pretty much made a gun out of household items that you can find anywhere. That's using your brain.
Too small.
So, let's talk about protective cover. Now, why on the left is my friend not so protected?
There is no cover in his cover.
And then why is that more cover?
You should.
It's like, had your hand up.
Well, I was gonna answer the other one, because it wasn't
Oh,
fast.
okay, well, sorry, you're too late. So, correct one. Go ahead, answer that.
So, because there's,
Wait your turn. I'm waiting.
Well, I was trying to find a correct reason because I don't think I could fit in that box.
Well, if anyone's seen it here, you've seen Indiana Jones and the the King of the Crystal Skull. You know when he jumps in the fridge, nuke the fridge. You ever seen that? Anybody? Okay. Think of that, but think of a mailbox. You have two choices. Either have that or you have nuke the fridge. But in this case, it's called nuke the mailbox. I would suggest nuke the mailbox. All right. So another multiple choice question. You see this, you're having a nice dinner with your family, it's probably your sister's birthday, and you are sitting there and you see this coming at you at the window. Do you A, start singing Disco Inferno on karaoke? B, hit the floor for cover?
B or C?
Use your mother-in-law as a human shield? Or D, use the distraction to order everything else on the menu on someone else's tab? Must have some family problems.
It's A, Gamera, friend to children. She's not gonna hurt you.
Okay. All right. Anyone else?
D.
It's B. Yeah.
I'm not gonna even go through that one.
What happened
All
to
right,
stand
let's talk
your
about another
ground?
one. You are having probably a you just had a nice nap, you wake up and you see this walking towards your window. Do you A, wonder, holy crap, did I set my alarm clock? B, think he's too fat to catch you? C, find the nearest exit and run? Or D, mistake him for the pizza delivery guy, walk outside and get crushed?
C.
Did you hear a Z? Oh, C.
I say D because you haven't seen the delivery.
That's
guys in
right.
my town.
C.
That's a good one.
If you're gonna get crushed, you might as well run because at least you know when you're getting crushed that you've made an effort. So let's talk about weakness and weak points by its definition. Weakness, one, is the state or condition of lacking strength. If you want to really get anywhere with defeating a monster, you need to first find its kryptonite. Things to remember: when attacked correctly, weak spots can stop them. The biggest beast, when attacked incorrectly, it will anger them more than standing in a line for a ride at Disney World. So, let's talk about Biolante. Biolante, as pretty much you all know, her protective cover both was weak in both head and body. So you wonder, what was her downfall? Fire. That's pretty simple. That's an easy one. Talk about next. Fedora. Fedora is nothing but a big quivering mass of sludge and too much crap. Now you ask yourself, hold on, you ask yourself, what can stop this beast?
Electricity.
Next.
Electricity.
Godzilla 62, if anyone who's seen Godzilla vs. King Kong would probably tell me he is, what weakness does he have?
Tasers.
Wait for it. Say again, what was his weakness?
Electricity.
Hail.
Who said electricity?
I did.
He's right.
But Fedora's was electricity.
Huh?
Fedora's was electricity.
That's because Mr. Clean wasn't there yet.
It's because Mr. Clean's electric. Boogie woogie woogie. Now, final one. Let's talk about Godzilla 2001 or GMK Godzilla. Now, a lot of people freaked them the crap out because of how scary it was. So you ask yourself, what exactly is his most feared enemy?
Himself? Oh, I was close.
Pretty self-explanatory. I've been telling him to lose the weight, but he's not listening. Alright, so in conclusion, let's talk about always stay safe. Don't confront unless absolutely necessary. Always stay protected. Always be armed. Use your brains along with your legs. Don't run stupid, and then listen to reason. So let's move on to our next part. Human-sized threats. Not every problem you encounter as an agent will be the size of a skyscraper. Evil comes in all shapes and sizes, so the same concepts we talked about still apply to small threats. So, adios. Same thing in detection. Detecting human-sized threat relies on the shady rule. If it looks shady and acts shady, then it is evil. It always the little things that help you detect who you're really dealing with. Things like how they act, Well, presenting you with a simple gift to sport that kind of mustache.
You're welcome.
If I've seen any type of mustache like that, I cannot trust that man. 2, the way they worship a giant beetle while in a bra and bathrobe. Number 3, the way they call themselves Red Bamboo. Usually a team with that type of name, I would tell you an idiot if you thought you could trust them. Or you have your face like this. It's pretty simple. So, a simple test. Once again, multiple choice question. You see my friend here. You think he's A, ordering a pizza, B, planning world domination, C, talking with his mother about his new silver snuggie, or D, prank calling Captain Gordon to tell him his mustache is running?
Tough one.
Yeah, you guys are all here. I think you can talk.
B.
B. I still say more
Yes.
participation.
Correct. B. Now, avoidance, as we addressed earlier. The same with human-sized threat. You need something, you see something that needs avoiding, you avoid it. What do you do?
Avoid it.
Avoid it.
With pizzazz.
Avoid it. I don't know.
I didn't say have acid reflux problem because I heard avoid it. Just avoid it. There you go. So,
Saturus.
example. I think it's pretty
Oh,
simple.
fuck.
You see this? You always want to think about how never put yourself in a worse position, meaning whether you feel something is wrong with the people or place environment you were around. Go with that feeling and leave. Never let yourself be stuck in a weird place with weird people and things. So, when this starts happening, do you A, recommend a good dentist, B, bash it with a shovel and take off, C, break into James Blunt's, or D, suggest some pro-acne skin products?
B.
I heard a C.
B.
I kind of think D.
Yes. B, of course, is the correct answer. Once again, this guy, let's talk about another scenario here. This guy you've been fighting turns into a giant cockroach. Do you A, say, oh, I love 2 Men in Black now. B, break out the raid spray / flamethrower and burn that sucker, then leave. Or C, place him under your neighbor's pillow. Or D, decide, you know what, we're going to go into business together and open a roach motel.
B.
There we go.
Noticing a pattern here.
Not too bad. I think B is my favorite letter. So, self-defense and weakness, much less to deal with than, much less to deal with than its counterpart. Human-sized self-defense relies on certain themes, always staying alert, always bumping or yielding an attack, whether verbal or physical. We'll expand on that in a minute. Always staying calm and relaxed, mentally and physically. Realizing that what you're dealing with. You must know your enemy, as they might not think they're as tough as they think they are. Example right there. Another example. Or when you realize the leader you're trying to take over the world is actually pop singer Adam Lambert. So, this comes to my favorite part of this time. So I've demonstrated a few setup situations, defenses, and weak spots all around logic for self-defense. Who would like to get hurt in the audience?
Me.
Okay, we're gonna have a couple people. First one, front Riley's gonna come up here.
Well,
Have any of you
there goes
taken a
that.
self-defense class before? Yeah? No? All right, great. So, self-defense is based off on a couple things. You come closer. Don't worry about getting in the way of this. Can everybody see us? I only hear one yes. Can everyone see us?
Yeah.
That's better. Okay, so self-defense. One thing is for certain is always this element of surprise. It depends on what the person gives you. If I'm right here, it's not giving much. But if I say, "Hey man, how you doing? It's good to see you. How you doing?" And then you just get into something else. Start reading up here, and then you just totally choke them and fall all the way back down, and then you just keep walking. And then slowly as they drop down, and then you read them a bedtime story and fall asleep. No? Here, up back up. Another thing, when you're talking about all-around self-defense, where are weak spots on the human body? You guys should know this since you are both male and female. Groin? What else?
Throat.
Dan?
Eyes.
What else?
Stomach.
No, there's any sunglasses on.
Stomach.
The shin.
Okay, we have a little closer. We have groin, throat, eyes, ears, knees, and what is this right here? Solar plexus.
Oh, yeah.
So, what's a simple way? I know you guys aren't grand champion karate masters here. So you ask yourself, what exactly can I do to do something? That is one thing you can do, or come a little closer. You know what's free? Not karate training, but you know what is free? A swift kick right to the nuts. It's completely free.
What if the threat is female?
Well, then I suggest...
harder. Works the same.
What? Oops.
Yeah.
See, I would say that, but then anyone watching would know that you're going to be the offender when she was actually So I would suggest not doing that. What I'd rather do myself is just pretend that she's a man and just kick it anyways. Because it's either you have two choices. You either be embarrassed or you just take care of the problem. And what do we say about taking care of the problem? What calls for a confrontation when it punches you in the face?
Yeah.
So, someone give me a scenario. Just do it.
And lost the ring.
There is a alien that's about to unleash a monster on the city, and you have to stop it before it presses a button.
Okay, so pretend this is the button right there. Come to the button. What do? You don't say, hey man, that's the button right there. Please, ladies first. No, so you get back. Start coming towards the, what do? He's walking towards you. So, what's simple enough? That's free. You trip him as he's walking. Why I call it free is because you don't actually have to do a lesson. You don't have to take any lesson. You don't have to pay for anything. Free means things that you can do no matter what, whether you're big, small, tiny, large, whatever. That's why I like to call it free. So what is free? Putting your foot out and tripping, just like you're doing a nice little dance. Right there, he falls flat, face first, right into the table, and then hook him down. Which, another important thing is, if I can find my bag here. Let's see. Hold on a second.
Bag inside the bag.
Not a bad.
Is that fine? Okay. So, handcuffs. Proper way to arrest somebody. Hey man, how you doing? I'm gonna need to arrest you now.
Okay.
Alright. She's gonna go to jail now.
Okay.
No, that's not the proper way to do it. This dude is a vicious criminal. He's ready to eat your children and starve your kittens. So, how do you arrest such an evil being? Not the kid, that's definitely dead. He already got to me. He's dead already. I'm dead. That's it. No. He's coming towards you. What do? Come closer. One here, two here. Turn around. Hit, and then, oh, look what I got here. I've got this to what?
The chicken wings.
Slap the cuffs on. And now you can add this great thing right here, and then we can just talk about the problems for a little bit and why I stole you, rock you to sleep. Let's get back up. So, we always want to talk about self-defense. Is also the art of surprise. Come a little closer. One. What did he do? He opened up. So, boom, punch. So faster. Be one and then two. Punch. Is that very hard? No, because what? In case that doesn't work, I'm going to go through. That right there, I haven't washed my hands at least 3 days now. So from that alone, you should have some really bad allergies once I'm done with you. Point is where do we hit? Throat, groin, eyeballs, ears, and everywhere else. So, one more scenario that I always love doing is, come closer. Let's say you're in the street, some guy walks up to you and sticks your finger in my chest. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to secure the wrist, and I want you to break the finger. You break the wrist, break the elbow, and break the jaw. Smash the groin, break the nose, and then break the knee. Here, I'm going to drop you right now. All the way on the ground, and then we're going to break the ribs, stop the groin, knee drop the pelvis, kick the head, stomp the head, stomp the back of the head, re-stomp the groin, and then exit out. And then, if you have any, very good. Yeah. If you have any keys or anything, you can punch punch him, you can hit him, stab me if it's hard, you can just run him over with it. Point is that if someone gets up in your grill, what do?
Break them.
You serve them a good barbecue.
You roast them.
Exactly. So, this is your personal space. My most important thing is your bubble. This is your bubble. My bubble is right here. If you start getting up like this, oh man, well, what did I do wrong? He's in my space. So come walking towards me. I have to do something here, he's right here, and he's right in my face. So bring it back. Come in. And then right, just whatever. It could have been something simple, walking down the street and that little girl, hey, you want to buy some cookies? And then just right there because you can't trust anybody. The point is that they get in your space, that's it, man. So whoever it is, I don't care. Next person who gets in your space, deck them. Simple as that. Don't talk, nothing. Doesn't matter. So, point is, you have what is free: throat, groin, eyes, ears, and all that other good stuff. And what else? You have your bubble. So as soon as someone gets in that bubble, you attack what? The free spots. Give them a free sample to a free butt whooping. Does that make sense?
Free stuff.
Excellent.
Okay.
Excellent.
So, please round of applause for my. Now is the time for questions you have. Anybody? Come on, questions. Anything? Question? Come on.
Questions.
Why did you go for his phone?
He didn't. That was a sacrifice.
Oh.
Yeah.
He thought maybe before I get
Text
to him, he's got to
message,
get rid of
didn't
the
like it,
information.
throw it.
He knew that the bad stuff that incriminated was on the phone, so he threw it, broke it. He was going to eat it, but it wasn't going to work.
What's the most fearsome monster that the Dreamers ever had to, deal with?
Definitely wasn't her because we took care of her eventually. First, when we had a problem with Space Gods, I was thinking, yeah, we got Muguera, finally good, it's all good, and then he just totally got crushed. And that crushed right here. I felt it. I felt it really bad, and I cried for these 3 days. I wasn't really crying because there wasn't any tears, but it definitely felt bad. I would say that Space Godzilla was one of the most toughest. Definitely was a bad boy.
What would you recommend for heavily flooded areas? What's your favorite mode of transportation?
That would be the Batmobile.
But it's got wheels. It doesn't go in the water.
What about the bad boat?
Jet ski.
No, I like the Batmobile sounds cooler, and also Bat Boat. I used that for my last yacht party, so that's under construction right now. But for flooding, definitely for flooding, you know what the most important thing to do is not being in a place that has flooding. That's the most important thing. That's my first suggestion.
Earlier, you said avoid everything, but then you said wait till it comes to your face, and then you have to avoid it.
So the point of it's avoid everything until what calls for confrontation. You avoid, like if someone was over there, if I saw a big creepy dude.
So creepy dude is short.
My real question is, you said stuff in front of the face.
No, I said when is it called for a confrontation? When it punches you in the face. I didn't say that literally. I'm talking about when the situation calls for it. Literally punches you in the face. Metaphor.
Does your getaway vehicle have to be on land, or can you just get like a rocket ship from space?
Anything that gets you out of the place that you need not to be. Simple as that. Whether it's a boat, whether it is a hot air balloon, or whether it is a big dragon. It doesn't matter.
The best question out of all of the questions in the entire world: does Godzilla wear boxers or briefs?
He told me he was a Fruit of the Looms type of guy, but I think he actually likes briefs better.
Thank you, sir.
Ready, thank you.
Well, actually, see, the thing is, he got specially designed skin-colored briefs. So what you're actually seeing is wearing his underwear. He never likes to be nude. Yes.
How destructive was Rosie O'Donnell's rampage?
He was extremely destructive. Any restaurant that was on that strip was gone. It was non-stop carnage. Yes, sir.
Out of all the monsters in the entire universe, which monster is the most annoying monster in the universe? It's just like not the big serpent, just annoying.
Most annoying. I'd have to tell you the most annoying monster.
Harry Lewis.
He was one of them, but I got rid of him. Most annoying for me. to have been
One of the old
Little Godzilla, at least. Little Godzilla. Like I told you, you saw him. You think he's cute? No, he's really annoying. He follows me everywhere. Everywhere I go. I go in the bathroom, he's in there. I go everywhere. I go to eat, he's there. I go over here, he's there. The fact that he's not here right now is a very good blessing.
You mean Minion?
No, Little Godzilla.
But it's
That's
too
Minion.
cute to shoot.
Yes, that's the problem. That's why it's annoying. He's too cute to shoot, but I just can't get rid of him. So I'm in that problem right there.
Ian, can you go back to that?
I cannot, sorry.
Song? No? Oh.
So there are no more questions. So remember to don't put yourself in a worse position. Either bump or yield. That means to either go with something or to confront it head on. Always stay alert. Be calm but ready. Think and react fast. Know your enemy and then know thy environment. And oh yeah, that's another thing I forgot to ask. I forgot to tell you guys. There are no wrong questions, but unless they're the ones I don't like. So I like to, without any further ado, with any questions? No more questions? Anything? Okay.
In G4C, why kids love cinnamon.
They can because they have this really bad obsession with cannibalism and toast crunch stuff. I don't see the obsession with it. I mean, I just don't like it at all. But they can see why this is not butter.
They can't believe G4's not.
No, it's not believe. It cannot see because we can't believe anything. Believing means that you have faith in something. We have no faith in whatever because after getting our butt handed to us at least 5 times, we have no way to believe it.
So what?
Wait, does G4s know how many licenses kids
They do actually.
Whoa.
Our agents. Actually I forgot to put that part of our training. That's part of our training. They see how much they like the cinnamon toast crunch, how many licks it takes to get the cinnamon toast pop, and then also what is that last one? Yeah. They always make sure that if they listen to Don't Stop Believing, if they sing along, they're out of there. That's it. You play it nonstop, and if they sing along, you got a problem.
Hey, sorry, I just wanted to give you a heads up. There are gonna be some guys coming to remove the wall.
We're
in a
gonna be done
few
here.
minutes.
Okay.
Yeah,
There was a time problem. People here were
Right.
they shut up late, and then so.
No, that's fine. I'm not saying, I'm just saying there may be some guys that have come in and start doing some work, but in a few more minutes, so you're good for a few
Okay.
minutes.
So, wait, if you would have said that the space battle event would happen now, and the Mothra Lone Twins would say, he must have destroyed Godzilla, he'll save the world, what do you say?
If Space Godzilla showed up again, one, if anyone's learned how to cry as a child, probably most of us would. But ultimately, I got to get my stuff together and then say, we're going to take care of this the best way we can. Huh? No, I said if we learned how to cry as a child, we probably would, but we haven't. Go on, David.
If the monster were to show up right now, do you personally believe you and the rest of G4 would be ready?
You betcha. You betcha. Which, the monster should be arriving here very shortly. So, if you guys may be ready, you're going to get killed. Simple as that.
Good.
What was the G4 team's reaction when that was dying?
Well, you know what? Most people are going. They continued it for at least 5 minutes.
Then they tell Junior turning into...
They threw a party. As soon as they heard, they threw a party. They actually had a fondue party in honor of him melting. They had a fondue party.
No, but when you guys start in the middle of the party and the guy says, there's another Godzilla!
At least they can give him chocolate because they were too busy partying to even care about anything else. I tried to get away from the fondue, but they just didn't do it. One little guy first.
Now, if you ended up with the reaction of the death of Godzilla, wouldn't you guys be sad because then you're on your job?
I was thinking that, but then we can always bust tables at or work security, which I've done. And I still haven't got paid for it. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, sir.
Hi, we are all, some of us were there disappointed that Destroyer had a badge that beat Godzilla, but we could never beat him, or we could kill Destroyer. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah, it's crazy because you know why? I'll tell you right this. I'll declassify it for you. You know how Destroyer actually died? It's not the way they portrayed the movie at all. No, go figure. He actually tripped over a ladybug and was killed on impact. It wasn't even us. I mean, it was just there. It was just there. It was one of those days. It just fell straight over. We just said, hey, we did it. Good. As soon as the reporters were there, we just tied and everything. We got them. That's it. Then we're done.
How do you feel towards the stupid Disney mock-up, which contains gerbils and a special forces unit, also called G-Force? What is your reaction towards that?
Well, where are they now? In a tank somewhere. Where am I? Right here. That's what I think of the G-Force gerbils. Come on. There we go.
Was Yuki from the Space Godzilla movie secretly a G-Force agent?
He was, with that finely sculpted body of his, he actually was. I personally trained him myself. But eventually I had to get him kicked out. I kicked him out of there because all he would do was ask me for things. That's it. Nothing.
What was your reaction towards Yuki's ass?
I said to myself, I didn't say anything because that's the reaction. My mouth was just mouth agape, and I was, there's a lot of things I've seen in my life, but if I ever see that again, I will have to strangle something, and it was not going to be pretty.
What was your reaction to the fact that everyone was saying that
There
King
was a
Kong
part in
was
Space Godzilla where the guy was taking a shower and
I would say, where's King Kong?
it panned up.
Oh, that's right, he doesn't have the movie out. Where's Godzilla right now? Oh, he's coming out with the, oh yeah, that's right, he has a convention in Chicago. I heard about that thing. And he has a movie coming out next year? Yeah, so I think Godzilla might be a long run. Yes, sir.
Using the gopher chucks, did you have any problems with PETA?
No, not at all.
No?
They tried, but just like a Jehovah's Witness, I slapped the door right in the face. They tried.
There you go.
Right in the face. I mean, I said thank you, but no, and then right out the door. They tried splitting. They tried throwing paint on me, but that was the last thing they did. Sorry.
What is your opinion towards the Science Patrol from Ultraman?
Science Patrol? Never heard of them. That's what I think of them. Yes, ma'am. That's a pretty good question.
I have another one actually. Do you think the monsters that Ultraman fight are lame?
I think they're lame, goofy, totally, goofy looking.
5 seconds kill.
Goofy, and then also, they don't look very threatening. But no, I think they're definitely they're good monsters.
But they all die in 5 seconds.
Do you actually count 5 seconds?
I'm like, in 5 seconds, beep, 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 beep.
Are you all Ultraman fans here? Any Ultraman fans?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh, so see, I see Ultraman, and then all your hands raised up. I ask you for questions, and you just, I can't feel my hand. It's not gonna work. All right. Unless there's any more questions, I think I'd like to thank you for coming to the. Oh wait. Okay, Samson.
I've been told that the Insanity workout is just a warm-up for the training of G-Force. What do you have to say to these allegations?
What I have to say to those allegations is it's actually a complimentary side dish to what your first breakfast meal is. I always make sure that when I start off my day, I do at least 50 push-ups while I'm eating toast and while I'm preparing bacon. And then while I'm preparing the bacon, I do at least 100 sit-ups. And while I'm doing sit-ups, I finish my cereal. And once I'm done with my cereal, then I do 100 squats outside on a tree while I'm preparing my final hand-squeezed amount of orange juice. So, to answer your question, insanity is only for the sane. And the sane being is that when I feel like it, which when I feel like it is about when I'm eating or something, just a little something simple to make my meal that much better. It's a joke.
I'll talk to you later today about training the G-Force.
Solid 2 questions. 1, considering that you just mentioned insanity, do you really think that P90X actually gives women bigger breasts? Also, do you have a knife hidden behind your tie?
I have at least 12 weapons in my pants at all times, but no knives in my tie, because my tie is the weapon. I don't need a knife under the tie. Number 2, I think P90X is one of the most annoying commercials I've ever seen, because I just want to, you like punching people in the face, which is something I do very much. I keep it here. I watch that, and all I want to do with the guy saying, yeah, keep going, keep going, keep going. I'd probably end up hitting him right in the face, because you should just say, please give me your money, and then I'll walk away. Now, I would say that's not my expertise to be asking about that. And also not the best vendor to be talking about it. Yeah. duty. My God, I went and got at least 3 burgers over at McDonald's. It didn't really work though because I had to crouch down in Mechagodzilla and it took forever to get to the actual meal.
No, I'm saying, what's your favorite Mega
Oh, I'm
that
sorry.
you use?
I would have to say Mechagodzilla 2 because he actually did the best of everyone.
Where you at, Rogue?
Yep, one rogue. I didn't like him. He ran off. He had a tantrum. He had a daddy tantrum. He had some issues to work
They
out.
just made this up.
Huh?
They just made this up.
So, unless we have any other questions, I'd like to.
In a fight between you and Don Fry, who would win and why?
Well, I hate to change the fuck myself. But I do think that I could beat
Jacob's the one coming up with that Bengals idea. All of ours.
respect. I make sure as soon as I'm standing over his likeness corpse, I make sure he's wearing his mustache and all that.
Because the costume contest and stuff. Yeah.
If you, after the failure of Mecha after Mecha after Mecha, do you think you'll make another one and hope for the best that it will fail?
Well, what happened was one day I was reading The 3 Little Pigs and I thought, you know what, this
one I
thing
have
isn't
no
working
idea.
out.
That
So you know what
one's
we have to do?
test
We're gonna have to just experiment a little bit. So
I
we
won
made a
fourth place in the
mecha,
video
first out of
contest.
straw. That didn't really work. We made it out of wood. That didn't work either. We tried bricks, but then everyone started
One of the
saying it's a
Ultraman
brick,
shows,
and
but I know
was,
he's also
too busy
in Ultra
thinking
Galaxy.
that actually pilot the thing. So eventually that just totally screwed up. Now, I think that we're gonna have to try something
Well,
different.
I'll give
different
Jacob
approach.
this one.
Something else. What did you have your hand up, sir?
I think it's
Huh?
Yes, sir.
So after your training at the G-Force, will you have enough patience and self-control to, through an entire sitting, be able to watch the Frieza transformation?
If you can sit through any of the Twilight movies, you can sit through that. And it's not see, you measure a level of the G-Force agent by how many Twilight movies you've seen. If you've seen the first, he's okay. If you've seen the second, he's doing pretty good. If you've seen the third, he's getting there. If you've seen the entire trilogy, then he's got respect.
I've seen the entire one.
Oh, sorry, I meant the entire series.
Would you consider Connor an ally or?
I would consider him an ally because he'd be too busy distracting somebody, and I'd be able to get him into the movie. Yes, sir.
For one of the torture tactics, do you strap the victim down and watch them watch the room?
Yeah.
24 hours.
We have a special room. We have a special room for our victims to watch the room. See, the best part is what we do. You're gonna like this. We have them strapped in a chair. We have the TV placed so close to them that the button to turn it off is right where their finger is, right here. But their hand is strapped in. So that means while they're constantly trying to get it, they're never gonna get it. And eventually they just go mad and they start saying, I did not hit her, I did not. Anyone else?
It was rumored that you were once partnered up with one Jet Jaguar. Any comments on these rumors?
Yeah. See, we were gonna actually get a new toy line when Hasbro signed on, but then he stole half my money and ran off. So I didn't like the guy.
You versus Bruce Lee, who wins?
No one wins. Well, actually, technically, I win because even if I met him, I'd be like, "We're not gonna fight you." Handshake, hug, and then I'd invite him out to dinner. Yes.
Out of all the races that you come across, which one would you say most annoying one to deal with?
The Exilians, for the most part. Like I said, if you can handle listening to pop music, I couldn't even stand when I met the Exilian leader because that guy annoyed me more. Talk about fighting. You ever fight with your cape? You ever seen that? You fight this, slapping people with your cape. Trust me, I've tried it. It doesn't work. Huh? Fight with his cape. Did it work for him? No. No, I'm talking about the Exilian leader. Did it work for him? No. Why did it work for Batman? Because he's freaking Batman. Yes. Again.
Do you find it highly unlikely how the fact that somehow the beast known as Monster X somehow turns into Kaiju? They're literally nothing alike. Not even the same color.
This has kept me up at night.
właśnie. Zlitował właśnie.
What's the conversation over there, buddy?
Talking about ponies.
Yeah, ponies.
Yeah!
All right, if there's no other further questions, I'd like to thank you all for coming.
Finally, give a big round of applause.